Yeah, Jurgen, first of all, thank you for your time, and especially that we're preparing a bigger meeting with our engineers in the future. Within 2 weeks, we will see in the bigger group. This time, I would like to ask you a little about my dilemma as a CEO and the owner in context of AI. Especially that I'm the manager and I'm not engineer as you. So exactly this AI appears in my personal life 2-3 years ago. My professor in university told me you should use ChatGPT because it's amazing. So my first experience was I should try it, and now this system, ChatGPT, I'm using that, is working permanently with me and know me much more probably than my family knows about my professional life. And I have many questions in my mind about the engineering, because our meeting will be related to engineering team. Totally, we have 400 engineers in aerospace, in automotive, and the discussion will be about how we can make and create with AI better reality and better engineering world. So to be honest, I don't read your book about robots and I, but yesterday I spent a lot of time about your substract and your speech from YouTube. So I could say that I'm a little bit well prepared. With respect to what you're doing, I prepared 3-4 questions. So my first question is about the processes. You can imagine, it's my word, my engineering word is that we can imagine we're producing engines to the jets. The biggest customer is producing tube to the civil and military jets, and it's a very complicated process. We can imagine that inside is 8,000 people and many different processes, and we have some compilations about the people skills, cost of the every hours, about competence they have, about lack of competence they have, about the data which machine producing in real time every day, and this is million data, about combination of the time, because time is also in the scope of analysts, and about the failure sometimes could break your process, and you receiving the question from the owner of this factory. Let's assume this is from United States, about change requests. So it means that they're asking you, whenever with using AI, you can plan producing new engine. And there is coming question about the costs, time, technology, data, security, planning, the supplier chain, and you are sitting on the top. This is the same scale is on the mid-level engineering. It's maybe not so complicated, but also every engineering have the same dilemma. And you have many process, time, cost, and so on, and you have AI. And my question, which I'm asking myself every day, from which part of this process I should start, and which part if process I should touch to receiving the biggest revenue, the biggest benefits. Because AI is supporting you, and I can use also in my life AI to many different sectors of my life. But my question is, in which part of my life, the same stories about this factory is giving you the biggest revenue to not spoil your activity and time at the end receiving bullshit, or receiving the data which will be not used, or you would at the end can think to yourself, okay, I put 80% of my daily power, but I received 5% of adding value of using AI. So my question is about how to choose which the process in very complicated word is the best to use AI to achieving the biggest benefits and the biggest revenue.
Right. So, well, a long question. I'm not sure if it is answerable with one simple reply. First of all, I believe there's not one place to use AI where it is best. I believe it can be useful anywhere in our lives, in our work lives, from planning to optimization to delivery and so on. And you are asking me, where is it best? Where do I get the highest return on investment, basically? I think what we see now is many people struggling with that question because everyone is seeking an answer to it and nobody knows. So the only way to understand an unfamiliar terrain, because that's what it is completely unfamiliar terrain to most of us, or nearly all of us. We just have to try things, just play with it, without knowing what the ROI is going to be, but that simply the exploration, the scouting of the terrain gives us the kind of intelligence that we need to then figure out what is going to be the ROI of doing different things. And you see, for example, now there are some companies in the news, usually American companies, who basically force their employees to use AI as much as possible. Some of it call it token maxing. People are rewarded for using AI the most. And there are some people who, for good reasons, say this is silly because it is like who writes the most code. That is a silly thing, right? It's not about writing the most lines of code. It is about being most impactful with your code. And the fewer lines of code, the better, actually. The problem is that we don't know with AI yet where it's going to be most effective. So I understand the companies who say, let's just use it as much as we can, even though we have no idea where the ROI is, because we're going to learn through that intensive use. It's like pushing someone into the water and say, swim, learn to swim, without knowing yet what the direction of swimming is going to be. But you only know when you learn to swim. So I understand that this is what is happening, that companies are simply using AI as much as they can without really understanding the ROI, because by using it intensively, wherever you can, you're going to figure it out. That's part one of the answer. Part two is, I think in the short term, we see a lot of low-hanging fruit. Like we can optimize this process, we can optimize that process. The examples are summarizing emails or stuff like that. I mean, it's easy summarizing a meeting. It's convenient. I do that because it means I don't have to write notes anymore. And then I have a record of what was said. That's good. The AI does not critically ask you, should that meeting have happened in the first place? Maybe the AI is more effective when it can tell you, you shouldn't have this meeting at all because it's going to be a waste of time. Sure, I can summarize it for you, but it's better if you don't even have it, that meeting. And that level of thinking where you are reinventing your business processes, I think that is where we're going to see the real ROI, where AI is not used to just optimize the things that we already do, but critically rethinking with us what the hell we're doing, and then figuring out we can completely get rid of this part of our processes, of our structures, of our organization, and replace it with this, which is 10 or 100 times faster and cheaper and better or whatnot, with the use of AI. that is where I think the biggest return on investment is going to be, to rethink our organizations. But the problem, as I said in the beginning, we don't know what those opportunities are until we've learned how to swim and we've just drowned ourselves, figuratively speaking, in AI by using it anywhere we can, because then we start seeing the possibilities. So I am now also basically token maxing myself. I pay a lot for my AI subscriptions. And to be honest, probably 95% is a total waste of my tokens. But I'm learning a lot. And the ideas are now starting to come where I could be very, very productive and effective for my clients in a couple of months because of all the experience and knowledge that I am building up.
Thank you for this answer. So this is a little bit like research and development. So you're investing your time and the money, but return could be different. So exactly, this is more about your mindset and discovering. But I guarantee your boss that whenever we will invest $1,000, we will achieve 2,000. So this is a very good point you mentioned.
Yeah.
Another my question, Jurgen, is let's go forward. Let's switch in next 10 years in the future, and let's assume that we have top level of AI level. So it is like autonomy thinking. So the in this scale, sometimes we thinking and saying that in this level AI will lead your company. So by themselves. So my question is about if we can imagine two companies. One company will be from United States and one company, engineering company. One company will be from US, another company will be from Europe. My question is, behind this AI is they are sitting also the people. The people parameterization of AI by cutting dangerous information blocked to describing how to build a bomb and protect the safety is a limitation. If we can compare in the future the best American engineering company to the Europe, at the end somebody could cut the sensitivity and the cleverness of AI. So my question is, if we can imagine AI world, can you imagine that at the end somebody will be sitting in bunker somewhere in the world and will make cutting the knowledge, access to the data and parameterization this world to make some nations more clever than another one, on to have influence to the politics decision? Because now is open architecture, if I'm right, but in the future will be war between who have access to better data, who will be have first, and this data is more achievable, and how you see the threat in the future about using AI. At the end, the AI is belonging to concrete people who are sitting in this bunker and can make parameterization, AI for Europe different way that from United States, and this is the future. Could you tell me what do you think about it? What could happen in next 10 years about this case?
Well, what could happen in the next 10 years? That's a lot. I call myself a short-term pessimist and a long-term optimist. I see that there are lots of problems with AI. Many people rightfully point at issues such as job loss and copyright infringement and lots of other problems. But in the end, I think it will be net positive, net beneficial to humanity. I need to be positive, optimistic, or
yes, of course, better
or I get depressed.
I'm with you, but I'm afraid that whenever somebody will finally have a button and could some process accelerate or cut you the data, it will be some dangerous that some people could use it. And in this case,
yes, that's possible. I'm not sure if that, how realistic that is from a sociological and psychological point of view, that someone is some people are actually going to do that with the technologies they have available. But assuming that this is possible, at the same time, there's also AI helping organizations and governments and humanities in this rat race, in this war between ideologies, basically, to fight back. We see that in cybersecurity. Let's have a very concrete example there. There are bad actors and there are good actors, and it's a red queen race between the bad guys and the good guys. And right now, maybe temporarily, the bad guys can have an advantage, but the good guys always overtake them. And then it's one step after the other, trying to beat each other in terms of either attacking or protecting organizations and data. It always has been that case with humanity. I don't think artificial intelligence is going to make a difference there. It's just bad humans and good humans competing. So so it's theoretically possible that at some point one person is going to make a highly contagious virus or a bomb with self-printing materials or whatnot. Some people are warning against that. At the same time, we have incredibly smart machines that are trying to find such patterns of radicalizing youth, of communities that are going down a rabbit hole of increased extremism, and the organizations that exist to protect countries, the Secret Service agencies, they're getting much more intelligent at the same time, also tracking down such cases and preventing things from happening. I mean, the way terrorism is fought now and prevented in some cases, it's of a very different order than it was 10, 20, 30 years ago. So I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, Tomasz. I don't dare to make predictions, but I said I want to be optimistic.
Yes, this
otherwise
is the tool.
I get depressed.
Jurgen, I'm with you. This is the tool, but behind could be a bad guy or positive people. So I'm with you. Last question, Jurgen. Very, very interesting discussion about values. This is also my dilemma. Whenever we can imagine that in the future my company will be led by AI, so it will be some hologram of myself, so I will be with you in some island, and the top level of autonomy AI will be used. And my question is about ethics, emotions, like religions, and so which is related to our value chain, the systems ethics, and we using every day. At the end, can you imagine that AI will make ethic decision related to my ethic, or can you imagine that, for example, the religion impact or emotion impact, because 90% of our decision is related to emotions? Can you imagine that this system will be like a complex system, data, algorithm, but also emotions, value system, and it will be exactly the same body like I am? So the in the future, my workers can one day discover whenever decision was made by me or by my avatar. How you see that? It is everything could be learned, everything could be copied, but my question is probably you understand whenever it will be in the future any differences between people and AI machine.
Well, I have tried to read a bit on the philosophical aspects of AI and intelligence and consciousness. What I agree with is the people who say that human morality and ethics are simply an emergent effect of our evolution. And it's just how our brains are wired historically, how they have evolved, have led to things such as we value our family and we appreciate diversity and whatnot. We do not like violence, even though we are a violent species. All of that can be explained through evolution. Machines don't have that because they have a kind of intelligence that was created in a completely different way. So they get more and more intelligent, but they do not have the same value system as humans have. They may not even have a value system. It is all neutral to the machines. But I think because they get so incredibly intelligent, they could be much smarter than us humans in figuring out what is good for humans, because they exist to and have to coexist with us, with humans as a species. And maybe the machines do a better job optimizing for the many ethical frameworks and ideologies that humanity has come up with over time. And understanding you as a person, Tomasz, is indeed something that they may be better able at doing than you yourself. And then maybe the machine will know better what is good for you than you are able to figure out for yourself. Some people say that at some point the machines will figure out that they don't need humanity at all. It's the famous paperclip problem that some people refer to. I don't believe that. I think when you have incredibly intelligent machines, why would they be so stupid as to wipe out a species if that doesn't make any sense whatsoever? I don't understand why something can be both incredibly intelligent and incredibly stupid. So there's no reason for that. That's why would humans wipe out all dogs or horses or whatnot? We have done that as a side effect of our productivity on this planet. For sure we have killed off some species, but that was because we were dumb. we were not intelligent enough to understand what we were doing in the first place. We can expect machines to do a better job there. So yeah, ethical frameworks well, it's interesting to see what machines will do with the ethical frameworks and the ideologies that humans have come up with. There's no philosopher on this planet who has figured out what is the best ideology and what is the best value system. There is no answer to that, because in the end it's all relative, and machines are maybe better because they will be more intelligent than humans, to balance those ideologies against the other and figure out what is good for humanity after all. Because humans have a pretty bad track record.
That's true, Jurgen. Yeah. And this discussion with you is about we're sitting in one rocket, and I'm asking you what will be in this planet we flying to, and your answer is, Tomasz, doesn't matter. The most important is that we're traveling together, and next day will give us more answers. So this is fantastic discussion, Jurgen. I hope that we will have a fun by flying to this planet together in our next meeting in our video presentation, video discussion within 2 weeks to our engineers. That's all. Thanks a lot. Thanks for your time, and I hope that we will have a fun to spend time in short perspective together on this video webinar.
I look forward to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jurgen.